Hey loves, welcome back again to my channel. My name is Jenny. So today's video is the cutting and sewing of this sleeveless bustier you can see right here. You can also call it a two bustier. So if this sounds like what you're interested to learn, don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. And also if you're a returning subscriber, thank you once again for coming back. And if you're a new subscriber, I also want to say thank you for stopping by. So let's get into it. Welcome back, soulmates. So in this video we are going to be cutting these two bustier with our free hand. We are not going to make use of any pattern drafting, okay? So here with me are my drafting materials, and I have my fabric also right here with me. So go ahead and fold your fabric like this, okay? So I'm folding my fabric into two because we are going to be cutting out the front part before the back part, okay? So to know the width to actually fold for the front, go ahead and divide your balls by 4. Mine is 9. Then you add extra 4 inches to it. Just add extra 4 inches to that, okay? So I'm going to do that right here. Then after folding my fabric, the next thing to do is to get the starting line. So I always emphasize on getting your starting line. So on that starting line, I'm going to place 6 inches. So I'm going to off 6 inches because this is a tube bustier. It's actually beautiful when it's lower, okay? So you can use 7 to 8 inches. 7 to 8 inches, okay? So place your tape on the starting line. Mine is 6. I off 6. Then come down by your armhole length. Mine is 8. You see me marking it there. So still placing my tape on that 6 inches. I marked 10 inches for my bust point. 13.25 for my under bust, then 17 for my half length. Then I added extra 2 inches, which is 19 inches. So that 2 inches is for the stitching allowance, okay? So for me, I'm going to be making like a crop top. So mine is going to be a crop top like you see on the screen, okay? So that is the reason why I'm using my half length, which is 17 inches, okay? Then I added extra 2 inches to it, making 19 inches. So this is my chest line, my bust point, under bust, my waistline, and the allowance line. So coming to the under bust line, like we normally know, you are going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. Mine is 7 divided by 2, 3.5. Then I'm going to add half inch to that, making 4 inches. So I'm marking 4 inches on the lines because we are cutting directly on our fabric, okay? So you are going to add half inch to your bust span. Then coming to the side, I marked 1 inch. Then at the side, 1.5 inch. So I'm going to take it all the way down to the hem of the top like this, okay? So just take it down to the end of the top. You're not going to subtract any half inch at anywhere. Just take it down to the hem, okay, like this with a straight line. So to the bust point, I came down by half inch. Then I'm going to mark this with a slant line towards the side front like this. Then at the side, I'm going to make a curve. Don't make the curve so deep, okay? So coming to the starting line, I'm going to mark my bust span right there. So remember we used 4 inches, okay? But now I'm going to still add half inch again, making 4.5 inches, because if you are to connect from your bust point to your shoulder line, remember it's not going to be straight, it's going to be in a slant line, okay? So go ahead and add half inch again to your bust span at the starting line, okay? I don't know if you understand. Then I'm going to tighten up that upper chest line. So I'm going to use 1 inch, okay? So if you're of a smaller size, go ahead and make use of 0.75. So this 1 inch is okay both for a plus size, okay? It's still okay for a plus size. So the next thing now to do is for the neckline, I'm going to be using 5 inches. I like using 5 inches because I am bust 36. So if you are of a bigger bust, go ahead and make use of 6 inches. If you're of a smaller bust, go ahead and make use of 4.5 inches. So just place your tape this way, like this. Then whatsoever you have, place it on this other dart leg, okay? So coming to the chest line, I'm going to divide my bust by 4 to see what I'm doing. Place it this way. So I'm going to place my tape like this from that dart leg to the center front. Then I'm going to take what I have there and I'm going to place it to this other dart leg like this. So mine is 9 inches. After dividing by 4, then I mark 9 inches there. Then I added 2 inches stitching allowance because we are marking directly on our fabric, okay? So add your stitching allowance. So coming to the under bust also, I went ahead to place my tape like this. Then I'm going to mark my under bust, which is 7.5. Then I'm going to add 2 inches stitching allowance. So on the waistline, check what you have there. Place it on this other dart leg. And I'm going to mark my 8 inches, which is my waist divided by 4. Then add your stitching allowance of 2 inches. Go ahead and connect the points like this with a straight line. So whatsoever you have at the waistline, go ahead and place it on the allowance line, okay? So for this, you are not going to have a side dart because this is a free hand and we are working directly on the fabric, so there's not going to be a side dart. So I'm going to connect my armhole like this now. So on this part, I'm going to blend it in from the dart. Just blend it in like this, the way you see me doing, because it's not going to have a sleeve. So there is no need leaving that part pointed, okay? So just curve it in like this, and you're going to have something looking like this kind of shape towards the armhole area, okay? So for the neckline, you can just leave it straight, but I'm still going to use sweetheart neck. Then I came down by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to place my pattern master this way, okay? I'm going to connect from that dart to the sweetheart neck like this, okay? To that 1.5 to get my sweetheart neck. So guys, this is what I have. So when cutting this, please don't cut out the sweetheart neck, okay? Because we are going to be using this to cut out the back. So just go ahead and cut this out. So just watch carefully the way I'm cutting it, okay? So at this dart also, I'm going to just cut this out. So you can see the way I'm cutting this. So when doing this part, hold it so that it does not shift, okay? Cut it out. So guys, after cutting it out, this is what the front piece is looking like. So I'm going to use this to cut out for the back. So for the back, I'm going to fold my fabric into 2 again, like this. So make sure you fold enough fabric that is going to accommodate even the zip allowance, okay? So for the zip allowance, I'm going to make use of 1.5 inches. So I'm going to make use of 1.5 inches so that by the time I turn with my lining at the zip area, I'm going to derive at 1 inch for the zip allowance, okay? So after doing this, guys, the next thing is to place the front piece. So I'm going to start with the center front. I'm going to start with the center front. Go ahead and place it on the zip line like this, on that zip line, you can see. So when you place it, you're also going to place the side front. So make sure you arrange this properly, okay? So just go ahead and place it and make sure the lines match up together, especially at the under bust. Make sure they match up. They meet at that under bust. Don't overlap it at the under bust, okay? So you can see the way I arranged it. So the back is going to start from the armhole. That is how low I want the back to be. So for the bottom part also, I'm going to also trace it out. I'm going to mark it out. So when doing this, make sure you place something on the front piece so that it's not going to move all around. So that is how low I want the bag to be at the armhole line. Okay, I want the bag to start at the armhole line. So you can leave your bag straight, but I'm going to still curve it like this towards the zip area like this to have like a little bit of curve at the back. At this part, I'm going to mark my bust divided by 4, which is 9. Add 2 inches allowance. So at the waist, I'm going to mark my waist divided by 4. I'm going to mark 1 inch for that, then 2 inches for stitching allowance. Then connect the lines together. So after doing that, I'm going to come out by 4 inches, which is my bust span plus ½ inch. My bust span plus ½ inch. Then I'm going to mark ½ inch at both sides of that line to give me my dart at the back. Okay, so I hope this is very clear. I hope you are not confused, because this is very easy to draft. Freehand is always easy. Okay, so just go ahead and cut this out. So this is what the back piece are looking like, and here is the front piece, that is the center front. So I'm going to cut off this sweetheart neckline now. So when I open it up, I have something looking like this, and these are the side fronts. You can see we have 2 of it. This is how it's looking like. So go ahead and cut out lining for these pieces. Okay, cut out your lining exactly the way they are. Okay, so this is me cutting out my lining. So I'm just going to cut it out exactly the way it is on my made fabric. So when I was cutting for the center front, the camera was not capturing it. So this is what I have for the lining for the side. Okay, this is it, exactly the same. And I've also gone ahead to cut out my wadding. So just go ahead and cut out your wadding and make sure you place the shiny parts on the main fabric. Okay, like this. Then I'm going to iron this down. So coming to the center front, I've cut out lining for it also, and I've also cut out my wadding, so you can see it right there. So I'm going to take all these pieces to my ironing table, and I'm going to give them a very good press. Okay, so if you have an interfacing, go ahead and make use of it. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to make use of interfacing. So guys, after sticking the wadding on the main fabric, you can see how it's looking like. Okay, the next thing is to start stitching this together. Go ahead and place one of the side piece to the center front, and you're going to stitch it up this way. Okay, so I'm going to use my pin to show you guys that it's actually the same way and process of stitching your bustier. Okay, so this is how it's going to come out by the time I'm done stitching. So let me stitch it up and show you guys. So after stitching it up, guys, this is what it's looking like. You can see how it's looking so beautiful already. So this is the inside. Okay, you can see how beautiful this came out. So like I said earlier in our previous class, if you are making use of the medium wadding or the soft wadding, go ahead and make use of cup. Then if you are not going to make use of a bra cup, make use of the hard wadding. Okay, so that it helps to boost your your bustier, okay, and it gives it more standing effect. So this is how it's looking like. So I'm going to iron it down using my tailoring ham. So if you still want to know how to make one of these tailoring ham for yourself, contact me and I will send a link to you on how to make this, okay? So just go ahead and iron this open, the seam open, and I'm going to give it a very good press. So you can see, just open it up like this, the seam, and iron it down. So after that, I also went ahead to stitch down the lining. So guys, after ironing, this is what it's looking like. You can see how the right side is looking, and this is the inside, okay? It's looking all clean and neat. You can see how beautiful it's looking like. All the seam are relaxed now. So the next thing to do is to place the lining on the piece, on the main fabric, right side facing, and you're going to stitch up the neckline, stitch up the armhole, okay? So always start from the mid point of the neckline, stitch up to the armhole, stitch up the side, okay? So you stitch up the both side like this, stitch it up on this other part. So make sure the darts on the main fabric and the darts on the lining match up together. So the bottom part is going to be left open. So guys, after stitching it up, this is what we have. You can see what we are having. So the next thing is to trim off the excess lining at the neckline area and the armhole area and also at the side. So just go ahead and trim off the excess lining and fabric, okay? So then I'm going to notch the neckline like this. You can see how the sweetheart neckline came out. So that is why I advise you to always start from the middle point of the neckline to the side, then the other middle point again to the other side, okay? So after notching, I'm going to just bring this out like this to the right side. So just go ahead and bring it out to the right side like this. So if you have watched up to this point, you should be able to know which method is best for you. Is it the pattern drafting method or the freehand method? Which one do you think is more faster? So this is it, guys. This is it. This is what it's looking like after I've finished turning it out to the right side. You can see how the bustier is standing. So guys, coming to the back piece, I've also gone ahead to cut out lining for the back piece, and I'm going to place the lining right side facing the main fabric, okay? And I'm going to stitch up the neckline, the zip area, and the side. So I'm going to leave the bottom part open. That is where we are going to turn it out from. And I'm also going to insert my darts, okay? So guys, this is what the front now is looking like, and this is the inside. I've gone ahead to give it a very good press. So if you have like an hemming gum, go ahead and make use of it at the neck area so that the lining will relax properly at the neck area, okay? So this is what the back is looking like. I've gone ahead to stitch down the darts and also the zip allowance, okay? You can see with a loose stitch. So it's time to attach the back to the front. So I'm going to match them up like this, middle to middle, and I'm going to pin this up. So go ahead and pin it up, okay? Match them up middle to middle, okay? So guys, after arranging it, the next thing for me to do is to take my body measurements. So go ahead and place your body measurement the way you know how to do it best. But for me, this is what I do. So make sure the bust area is firm and take your body measurement, okay? So at the bust area, this is what I do. Then coming to the under bust, I'm going to indicate to get my under bust like this. Place the 6 inches at the top. Then I'm going to get my under bust. So my under bust is 15.25. Place it there. So I'm going to check what I have left, divide it into two like this, place it on the left and also on the right. Okay. So coming to the waistline, I'm going to also do the same thing. Divide my waist measurement by 4. Going to place it, which is 16. Check what I have there, divide it into 2. Place it on the left and also place it on the right. So I'm going to take this to my stitching machine and I'm going to stitch it down. So guys, after stitching it, this is what it's looking like. You can see the curve at the neckline area. Okay, see how beautiful the armhole part is looking like. So this is how to get your 2 bustier. The next thing to do is to trim off the half length. So the half length I'm working with is 17 inches, right? But I'm going to add extra ½ inch to that. Okay, so I'm going to add extra ½ inch to that because I'm going to be using this to turn the bottom part. I'm going to use it to hem the bottom part. So I'm going to just cut this off. So like I said earlier, your crop top can be longer than mine. So after trimming it, guys, this is what it's looking like. You can see how the back is low and looking so beautiful. This is how the back should be when you're making a 2 bustier, okay? Because it's not going to have a sleeve. So the next thing is for me to attach my zipper. But before attaching the zipper, I'm going to take this piece of fabric to hem this bottom part, okay? So just go ahead and hem the bottom part to close up the rough edges. So place it this way. So the right side of that piece of fabric should be on the lining, and after stitching it up, you are going to turn it towards the right side and fold it, then you stitch it up. So guys, this is what it's looking like. You can see the bottom part, I've hemmed it, and this is the zipper. I've also attached the zipper. So if you don't know how to attach a zipper to your blouse, I can also do well to link a video to you if you want. So guys, this is what the bustier is looking like. You can see even with your free hand, you can still achieve a standing and a gorgeous looking bustier. Okay, so which method do you think is faster and easier to access? So lay it on the comment, and also if you have questions, also lay it on the comment section and I will answer it. Bye.